Hello, beautiful hearts. My name is Even Wildheart, and I come to you from Jojo Country in Central Highlands, Victoria, Australia, in the Southern Hemisphere. So happy equinox to you all out there. Spring equinox in our Northern Hemisphere friends, and autumn equinox here in the Southern Hemisphere. So in the Northern Hemisphere, they are rising in light. This is the second of their fertility festivals. So it's all about planting the seeds that was collected from their harvest, and, really, putting some beautiful intentions around the birthing of new concepts and new ideas and new fruit that they will collect, later on this year. But for us here in the Southern Hemisphere, we are descending. We are hearing the call to the dark. It is the balance between light and dark, but we are moving down to winter solstice. It's just going to get darker and darker from here. And it has been for quite some time, but I think after, in the next few weeks, we will really start to feel that descent more, I was going to say heavily, but, I think the dark brings its own magic to it. But, we're being taught by our culture to fear the dark because, as my teacher Jane Hardwick Collins would say, whatever's been demonized in the patriarchal culture is what holds the power. So we are moving into a very potent point in our cycle, the balsamic, as you will, going down into, being that stripping bare. It's like the trees, they are letting go of their leaves, turning into sacred compost. And when we strip bare, we get to see what lays underneath everything. So I think for a lot of us, as we move down into the dark, and retreat internally, we have more time to see what sits there. And so the power lies when we embrace it and allow the things that sit there, that are usually hidden, come to the surface, and allow them to move through you like the trees. Allow and let go. And when we do, it leaves our body. So, there's lots of grief and sadness and pain that's rising up at the moment in the world. And so, how we can be with that is, find your tools, have your tools, so simple tools like using the elements, lying belly on the ground and allowing the earth to hold you as you allow big grief to pour from you, having contacts and connections that you can talk to. There's so many tools we can use that we have, to allow this, whatever's laying, as we strip bare, to go. And this is also a harvest. It's a harvest of bounty, and, whatever you planted, back in that July, August, September, October, November period, is coming to, the surface now to be picked, the fruit to nourish us. And, so whatever is happening at the beginning of the cycle sets the scene for the rest of the cycle, and especially so ever true when we're in the harvest phase of anything. So it's like going, this is the time of the Maga here. So whatever's happening in your childhood and moving up the cycle, into motherhood, it comes to fruit when you are in a Maga or an old man phase. So whatever you haven't dealt with, or whatever life that you had, if you were really nourished, and ate really good food, for example, and so, you would expect by the time you get to eldership that you feel nourished and you are, have a vibrant life about you because you've had that from a childhood age and, that teenage and motherhood. And if not, that's okay, because we can still recognize it, because the veils lift up at this point. Again, like the trees dropping the leaves, we start to see what lays underneath, so we can see it and allow it to deal with it, right? It's like, the skeletons in the closet start to be revealed. And, and that's a good thing, because we need to deal with that. We can't, pass things on to the next generation, because I think they're going to have way more things to deal with externally, than having to carry around that generational baggage or trauma that has been passed down. I don't feel, I feel we need, the time is now, and to allow the children to deal with whatever else has been left over on a collective, on an earth sense. So that's my 2 cents worth of autumn equinox wisdom. I think, and think about the seeds you're collecting at this time. I think the seeds, and how are you holding the seeds with intention as you're moving down, and, are you whispering to them as we go to the descent? I know if you see behind me, we've got, sunflowers that are dying, and, I'll start to collect the seeds from them, but I'm still watering them, and that's still watering the seeds that are coming. And we've got all sorts of amazing things happening here in this garden, zucchinis and cucumbers and pumpkins, and, everything that we're preserving as well, and putting things away for the colder months when there might not be as bountiful at this time. So it's like savoring the moment of the harvest. So whatever's happening in your world, I hope that you're having a brilliant and bountiful and joyful and deeply nourishing harvest. Just a couple of things. We are starting a new Invoking Inanna circle starting in May with a new co-teacher, Helen Earthstar. So that's very, very exciting. The ways you can find about that is on Instagram, and also Facebook on the Temple of Inanna page, and I'll put the link to that below. So that's very exciting. It's an all gender online, but we also do face-to-face. There will be e-courses. We're having I'm about to start recording the Invoking Inanna e-course. So if you can't make it to the circles, you can do it as a self-guided, but also supported from myself throughout those journeys, and astro circles. And I'm also doing astrology transit readings, and I discovered a new talent the other day doing 3-card tarot readings, which is so much fun. So anyway, all these offers, which are all on my website at www.yvonnewildheart.com. And also shamanic counseling. So if you are feeling the wobbliness of this time, and you want a different perspective, I am also here taking clients. So with so much love from my heart to your heart, I hope that you're having an amazing harvest. And in the Northern Hemisphere, I hope that your spring equinox is just full of awesome birthing and, beautiful love. Take care. I love you all. Thank you for listening. I'll see you soon.